Hey, what's up, kids? So I was gonna start the game, uh, just where I left off. I went to fill up my water bottle. I'm gonna shut up for 5 seconds, but just. I don't know if you can hear that, but during editing, I'll probably amp it up a little bit. Um, it's no longer the fun, like, happy, campy music that was before. It's ominous whispers. Oh, and there it goes with the fucking music again. Okay, so I don't know what that's all about. Uh, does not bode well for me or the future of this game. That being said, let's hop right back into it. Wake up! We had a nightmare last time, and it was pretty scuffed. Some chick was riding our back, and we drowned. Sorry, you were making strange noises in your sleep. What's going on, Gregor? Did the lightning wake you up? It woke me up. Tried to fall back asleep, but it's so loud. Ugh. Let's just get back to sleep and talk about this in the morning. Everyone nods in agreement and gets back to bed. I don't think I want to go back to bed, though. ... Except for you. You can't fall back asleep. You still have goosebumps from the nightmare. Okay, so apparently not everyone had the nightmare. Karen's snoring is louder than a sawmill. You find it very loud and very distracting. You don't sleep a wink. Everyone is now up and awake in the cabin. You hear the front door open quickly and slam shut. Anatoly sounds petrified. I looked out the door and we're completely surrounded by floodwaters. Looks like sailors take warning was more appropriate for today. Maybe it'll clear up tomorrow. You can't steal big guy's optimism, Karen. Why the hell not? That's all he has going for him. Well, that's mean. He's also good at chopping wood, though. Knock it off, you two. Mariah, do you think it'll clear up tomorrow? I give it a 27% chance of it clearing up tomorrow. Based on what? I was bored stiff, so I read a book on local precipitation levels for the best 20 years in the living room. Or for probably the past. Sounds like you're stealing Anatoly's thunder. Anatoly, you're a book nerd, right? Why didn't you read it? Couldn't make it past the cover. Is that right? You have literally contributed nothing to any of this except attitude, you absolute bitch, is what I would like to say. But I am a silent protagonist. Is that right? Yes. That bookshelf has some great books on artisan crafting and natural sciences. Why let them sit there gathering dust? How did you arrive at 27% chance of it clearing up tomorrow? It's easy. Take the time of year, multiply it by a factor of... Mariah begins to explain meteorology to you. She isn't dumbing any of this down. Anybody else notice the fucking weird, creepy ass, like, gobbledygook? So the first thing you need to understand is... Minutes of explanation feel like hours. You look over at Anatoly. He is listening intently to Mariah. So intently he hasn't blinked yet. You can see his eyes drying up. A tear rolls down one of his cheeks. This is brutal to watch. Mariah finally wraps up her lecture. She ends with a bow. Nobody claps. Tough crowd. Mariah, that was awe-inspiring. You lost me a few minutes in, but it's okay. For some reason, I just can't think of how I did his voice. I've had a long fucking day. I'm trying to wind down for bed like super early, a lot early. Just it's Probably was a poor decision on my part, but fuck it, I'm already here. I didn't understand a word of it. Get. Anatoly turns to you. Anyway, there's no telling how long this will last. We can't leave the cabin until the floodwaters stop. I know our food situation is a little tight, but I know you'll make the right decisions. I believe in you. Me too. It looks like we have enough leftover berries for more bread and raspberry jam. I'll pass on the jam. Just give me more crusty bread. Everyone laughs. Except for you. With everyone stranded in the cabin, you need to keep everyone fed and happy. You sneak out to the kitchen while everyone's still talking. You get out some crusty bread and get to work on making some more jam. With the kitchen to yourself, you decide to check in on the Chompettes. I feel like that's a poor decision.
Hello.
Again, I'm not doing voices for these fucking vegetables and bread and a fruit. Don't worry, as leader of the Chompettes, I'll make sure none of the humans know about us.
Onion.
That big guy would try eating me like an apple, so definitely don't tell them about us. Are your plans going awry? Got another cornbread classic for you. Did you hear about the bread maker's bakery burning down? No? Her business is now toast. I fucking hate you. That one's been done to death. Do you know how raspberry and milk were introduced? You tell her no.
Raspberry.
Oh my god. Raspberry milk shake. You let out an audible groan. Yes, I just did. Did cornbread teach you that one? Nope, wasted an entire day thinking about that terrible pun. So wait, where's cornbread? Cause like they're I'm not gonna ask questions. I already know that this game is already. Yeah. Haha, it was well worth the time and effort, Raspberry. Maybe you'll win the annual Chompette comedy competition this year.
Raspberry.
Of course.
Onion.
Not while I'm here. I won't choke on stage this year. Isn't that every year, Bread? We still talk about that closing line, Bread. You're going to do great this year. Anyway, don't even think of eating us if you're hungry. Potato keeps popping up and not saying anything. That concerns me. I don't need another fucking potato famine. Chompettes stick together through thick and thin.
Raspberry.
Rain or shine. Feast and famine. Again, potatoes. Potatoes just sitting there, bro. Potato, I swear to God. Repeat the line or we're locking you up again. That's concerning. Life or death. That's right. Chompettes, move out. I don't know. I'm not mentally prepared to handle this game. The Chompettes somehow managed to close the drawer on themselves. You bring the crusty bread and jam into the living room. Karen interrupts you as you bring in the food. Took you long enough. Karen looks at the 2 slices of bread left and mason jar of raspberry jam. There's mold on these last 2 slices of bread. Karen is right. What the hell is the matter with you? You grip the knife tightly in your hand. You think this is enough for 5 of us? Bitch, you came into my house. I don't even know where the fuck we are or what we're fucking doing. Wait, we can't throw this bread away. It's all we've got left. Gregor's right. Anatoly, will mold spores give us food poisoning? I'm, no scientist. Sorry. Let's pick off as much mold as we can. We can't leave with floodwaters, so this will have to last us another day. Everyone gridly nods, ripping apart their piece like a pack of wolves. Gregor seems to unhinge his jaw to eat it in one bite. He looks like a duck eating bread. Thanks again. Bread and jam isn't much of a meal, but it's more than we had when we left Ukraine. Oh. Shit. I don't think this game was made with the knowledge of what the fuck's going on in Ukraine right now. I highly doubt it, but like, yeah. Plenty of rainwater outside, so at least we won't die of dehydration. But until this storm is over, nobody should leave the cabin. Should clear up if we just give it a chance.
Anatoly, where are you getting that information from?
One of the books on the shelf about the climate here.
You're illiterate, so that's definitely a lie.
Fuck you, bitch.
I've seen him reading. Little guy's been studying. I'm serious. He pretends to read those books because he wants us to think that he's smart, but I can tell he's just staring at the page, faking it.
Jesus fuck, dude. Like, she's just hangry, and now all of a sudden it's like cutthroat. Probably literally in like the next 15 minutes.
What do you think?
Anatoly doesn't know his weather conditions from a hole in the ground. Karen is correct. Anatoly can read. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I don't see why he wouldn't be able to read. Like, I also feel like you don't generally get glasses issued to you without some level of ability to read, or at least identify letters, because that's generally how people... Anyway, I think...
You must be going blind then.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know why Karen would make something up like that about me.
You aren't fooling anyone, Anatoly.
Karen has stormed off. Pun intended.
Thanks for backing me up.
My relationship is stronger, but with who? There's 3 of them.
Good to have someone so positive around.
Anatoly looks relieved. I think he'll remember that, so I'm assuming I like leveled up with Anatoly.
I guess let's call it a day.
Yeah.
Sure.
Everyone shuffles off to their sleeping areas. 10 minutes later. Hey, Karen likes to find somebody's weakness and use it against them when she's frustrated. Just wanted to thank you for backing me up earlier. You're very sweet to do that. Apparently he looks at me with a look of admiration. Heh. See you tomorrow. Yay, probably another nightmare. Anatoly looks like he's blushing as he walks away. You're definitely sure Anatoly will remember that. Get ready for bed and put on a blanket. You go to bed very hungry. I just wait with, like, held breath that, like, something's gonna fucking jump out at me. I hate that shit. I don't dream the entire night, but I sleep through everyone waking up.
And that's how fast deer could run if startled.
Whoa. Incredible.
Impressive.
Yawn. I wish we had a deer here. With the food getting lower, let's just skip today's meal.
No.
It's only for one day. Various cultures and religions have practiced fasting throughout history. I will say I had a lot of Muslim friends in AIT. For those of you who don't know, it's basically like technical school for the military. And I went during the time of... God, I can't remember the name of the religious event. I think it was Ramadan. If I got that wrong, I apologize, but I believe it was Ramadan, and they could not eat or drink anything while the sun was up. Which is fucking wild, because we would always have to do morning PT, and then we would have to march over to where our schoolhouse was, and if we didn't have school, chances are we got put on duty, which a lot of times was somewhere outside, and it was hot where we were, so... I don't know how you do it, but that is true. Going a day without food is not good for you, but you can definitely do it.
That doesn't make us feel any better, Anatoly.
What options do we have? Our food wasn't rationed properly. Anatoly leaves mumbling to himself. So passive-aggressive of him. Everyone goes to their separate area. Karen in the bedroom,
Gregor in the living room, Mariah in the kitchen, and Anatoly in the bathroom. Who do you want to speak to? I'm gonna go with Mariah, because I already have a relationship, I guess, built up with her. I don't know. I have a very sneaky suspicion that, I don't know what I have a sneaky suspicion of, but it's sneaky and it's a suspicion, so hopefully y'all didn't hear me like slurp up some water, but my throat is killing me already.
Oh! Didn't hear you coming, ahaha! I was just double checking if there was any food we might have missed. Also, there was some like weird talking food, and they told me to kill myself. But I couldn't get the drawer open. Then I heard talking in it. It was fucking wild, bro. Could you give it a try?
I nod.
Great. While you go and do that, I'm gonna get some more reading done.
Mariah's gonna remember that. And for some reason, my relationship is stronger. I just kind of put something together. Maybe Anatoly can't read, and that's why he was paying attention to Mariah so much. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but still.
Later.
That was weird. Now I get to talk to the goddamn Chompettes again. Bet you... Oh, no, Potato's not missing.
Oh.
Hello! Is the thunderstorm keeping you up at night? You just need to roll with it. Raspberry whispers so quietly you lean over to listen to her. We need to talk soon. That's... Please listen to me when the time comes. Anyways,
Raspberry!
please don't let the others see us.
Cabbage!
That's right, Raspberry. Part of being a Chompette is secrecy. Wouldn't want those humans to overhear our meetings now, would we? I shake my head. Good. Chompettes, roll on out. I shut the drawer this time. Oh, gods. My mental state, in real life and in this game, are being questioned. Everyone looks pretty down this evening.
Wish the rain would just stop.
You're all doing great. We must be almost to the end of this nightmare.
I'm so hungry. Me too.
You are. I am too. I wish everyone a good night and get ready for bed. Nightmare. Nightmare. I don't know why I'm wishing for another fucking nightmare. I go to bed with a growling stomach. Wake up. I said, wake up. Oh, this is... I hate this. I don't know why this creeps me out so much more than the fucking nightmare. But this fucking freaks me out. I cannot tell you why. I think it's because, like, hallucinating and knowing I'm hallucinating would just be the worst. Because hallucinations are primarily based off of just, like, your own memories and how your mind works. So, like, I'm just thinking how bad it would be if I personally started fucking hallucinating. The rainfall is nonstop again. Did I have anything to do with this? I don't answer the question. Always thinking with your stomach, right? You should reconsider. Might save that little humanity you have left. At least I tried. I won't have a guilty conscience by the end of this. Go back to sleep, monster. What the shit? What the fuck was that, dude? I easily forget about Raspberry's conversation. I have a strange dream. Fuck. A boy is yelling at you in the kitchen. You keep telling him to lie down on the tray. But he keeps shaking his head, calling you names. So you do it. You lie down on the tray and make your body as flat as a board. You show him how it's done. His anger turns to courage, and he pushes you into the oven. As the stench of burning hair fills your lungs, you see him sneering back at you. You wake in a cold sweat. God fucking damn it, dude. What? Ugh. Oh, I'm so done with life right now, bro. Everyone seems to be sleeping in later than normal. Their stomachs must have kept them awake all night. The rain is still pouring outside. You can barely make out the trees from the windows. You hear a stirring of blankets, arms, and legs. Mariah looks petrified.
I couldn't sleep.
Anatoly has bags under his eyes. This storm is too loud. Karen looks out of it.
The cabin was creaking so much last night. It sounded alive. I also heard what sounded like a fucking raspberry talking. I don't know what raspberries sound like, but he was definitely raspberry sounding.
Gregor looks a little gaunt.
I got a good look out the window. And? Couldn't see anything due to the rain. Great observation, Gregor. I was so hungry last night. I kept pacing around my bed.
Karen turns to me.
When is this going to end?
I checked outside the door again. Floodwaters keep rising. Unfortunately, we're going to need to stay put unless one of us wants to drown in rainwater.
As soon as the weather lets up, we'll be able to scavenge for supplies. How close is the nearest town?
I don't know.
Didn't you have a map on you?
I think I dropped it while we were running after Gregor.
I'm sure it'll show up eventually.
Mariah and Anatoly go white as a sheet.
How are we going to find our way back now?
We'll have to ride out the storm. Mariah looks at me.
We're down to our last slice of bread. I don't know how much longer we can put off eating.
The group stares at me.
It will clear up in no time.
Maybe you're right. The group looks worried. They all gravitate to an area. You can tell Gregor's putting on fake optimism and Mariah is having trouble. Which one do you want to speak with today? I guess I'll keep going with Mariah, because I haven't really said much to Gregor.
It's cold as hell over here. I'm surprised Gregor isn't freezing to death at night. How does he do it?
Explain to Mariah how the size of a person and fat content determine how warm they are naturally.
Wish I was as big as Gregor. But to be honest, I don't need to be that tall to make a difference in the world. Do you know what he wanted to do for a career?
Mariah does her best Gregor impression.
Split firewood and gaze at the stars. How boring is that? Depends on the person, but pretty boring. You're so funny. Thanks for coming in and chatting with me.
Mariah blushes a little.
You make it easier to pass the time. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure Mariah will remember that. You thank her and leave the bedroom. You call everyone together. They all look grim. You cut the tension in the room with a knife. Everyone is staring at you. They're expecting that last piece of bread for dinner. Bring it out. Everyone cannot take their eyes off it. I instruct everyone to take a pinch, and slowly all five tear it apart like a wishbone. Everyone studies their piece of bread carefully, wondering how long it will last. Karen is the first to eat hers. She chews each bite a few hundred times before swallowing. Anatoly chews it cautiously, opening his mouth once he finishes each bite. Mariah nibbles on it silently, eyes wide, moving from person to person. And Gregor just pops it in his mouth like a cherry. It was gone in an instant. The table looked weird. They thanked me awkwardly. It's not much, but we've run out of options. I wish everyone a good night and get ready for bed. I go to bed starving. There's gotta be a fucking jump scare on one of those fucking transitions. I just fucking know it. It's gearing up for one, and if it doesn't do it, I'm gonna be slightly disappointed. But if it doesn't do it, I'm also gonna be kind of happy. Good morning.
Morning.
Let me check if the rain has stopped. Bitch, I can fucking hear it. It's still flooding. What are we going to do? Humans can live about 2 to 3 weeks without food. Water isn't a concern. Rainfall should end in a day or two, right?
Actually, precipitation can occur more than 215 days a year here.
But do you really think it'll rain that long?
Anatoly? It's been days already. What makes you think it'll stop soon? Relax, everyone. Let's see how long we can ride this out. Fingers crossed it's done by tomorrow.
Panic is slowly creeping in. Everyone's looking scared. But we need to survive. Karen and Gregor begin to discuss next options. Do you want to speak with Mariah in the kitchen or Anatoly in the living room? I will go with that one. Could you have rationed the supplies better? You crunch the numbers one more time. You could have reduced the amount of vegetables used in the stew, but it was their first day. You had to impress them. Was there anything you could have done differently? Probably not. Mariah, Anatoly, Gregor, Karen. You wonder if they're upset with you. Gregor calls the group over for a meeting.
I don't think any of us can take this much longer.
Gregor's voice starts to crack.
I don't want to ask this, but it's time. One of us needs to go outside and search for food.
Everyone is silent.
I'll go.
Mariah!
I used to swim all the time near my house, so I probably have the best chance of swimming through the floodwaters.
No! Let me go instead.
You won't get very far if anything happens to your glasses, Anatoly. You're blind as a mole rat, remember?
That's true, but...
Little guy, let me go.
Gregor,
Sounds good to me.
Karen!
His arms are definitely the longest, so he'd probably be the best at climbing trees out of all of us.
No, he wouldn't be right. Gregor, let me go instead.
I get that none of these options are good ones, but we need to find food or help.
Gregor grabs a branch from the wood pile. He cuts it into different measurements.
Since we can't come to a consensus, let's draw for it. We'll each pick one from my hand, and the shortest will go outside and search for food.
I'm not worried about drawing. You saw Gregor cut the branch lengths, so you can tell which is the biggest one of the bunch. You pick it up. You watch the others intently. Will it be Gregor, Anatoly, Karen? Will it be...
Looks like I've got the shortest.
Mariah. Oh, wow, somber ass fucking music.
Mariah.
It's okay. I watched Anatoly forage earlier, so I'll know what to look for.
Just swim until you find higher ground, then scout the area. Maybe you'll find fish out there.
Everyone looks heartbroken.
Karen, Anatoly, and Gregor, I'll keep us alive. I promise.
I hate promises. She promised. Everyone watches as Mariah leaves the cabin. The silence is deafening.
Goodbye.
The door shuts behind her. You can faintly hear her yell about how cold the water is, and then silence. Ugh, I didn't like that.
I'm sure we'll see her again.
The rest of the group nods. Everyone stays up waiting and waiting. The sun has completely set. One by one, each person quietly shuffles off to bed. Oh, I'm pretty sure y'all can't see it, but it just showed a picture of Mariah in the achievements and it says dead to me. Fuck. Get ready for bed and easily pass out. You have a strange dream. Two women in front of you could be twins. One of them you recognize, the other is a guest. You ask the guest to sit on a shovel, and then you try pushing it into the oven. Her legs are too strong, you can't get her into the oven. I curse at her repeatedly. Like this, you hiss. You stretch out your legs until my toes are almost sticking into the coals. I feel 4 hands on my shoulders, and both of them push me in. The familiar smell of smoke and burning hair cause you to throw up on the embers. You can't let it end like this. You rip the metal door off the oven, tearing through the wood logs of the cabin. Screaming, I chase the two through the woods. My burns chill with the cool wind. The guest looks behind her and her eyes widen when she sees you. She's terrified. My fury rips trees out by their roots, soil from the ground, rocks from their pits. I've never been this angry in my entire life. Their stamina can't last forever. You're gaining on them. As I trample through a field of wheat, the guest throws a piece of cloth behind her. I catch the glint of it in the sun, golden. As if by magic, the earth splits in front of me, creating a chasm of fire below. I fall in the pit, screaming as my eyes begin to sizzle with the heat. Hellfire fills my lungs. I'm unable to scream anymore. I wake in a cold sweat. Jeez, bro, come on.
Good morning.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there, because I mean, there's nothing. Like, it's already been a half hour, and I've already had like what 2 or 3 nightmares in this game, and this game is definitely gonna give me nightmares. So that's a plus, I guess. It's doing its job. I don't know why I'm 1,000 times more freaked out by talking to any of the Chompettes, but I am. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, leave in the comments if you want anything else done, and I'll see you kiddos in the next one.